my journey out of the matrix into living not from my conditioned self but from my desires in alignment with my authentic desires began in 2015. I was on a boat outside the coast of Mauritius where I was staying at a hotel with my family. The hotel had, like, you could go snorkeling, and my family was interested in that. At that time, I was super afraid of fish. It was my biggest fear, or one of my biggest fears, but I had a lot of them. But fish was definitely one of the big ones. And so I was not gonna come with them, but then in the last minute I was like, okay, I can come with them on the boat because I love the sea, I love the ocean. So it always felt a little bit like sad that I was so afraid of something that I loved so much too. And while on that boat, I had my spiritual awakening, and as I decided to, or my first spiritual awakening, because I decided to go into the ocean, and I did it gradually. At first I just stayed by the boat holding the boat, and then I had a very nice person working on the boat who took me under his wings and like helped me, and made it not as scary as it could be. So I was snorkeling with him, and I did it. I managed to snorkel, and that was the first time in my life that I had ever not listened to the voice of fear, not done what my fear told me to do, because my fear told me to absolutely not get into the water, and if I'd listened to that, I'd missed a very, very nice experience. Snorkeling, if you've done it, it's like you're in another world. It's wonderful around fishes, and it also gave me a lot of freedom, since, like I said, I love the ocean. So since then I haven't felt so scared being where I love to be more than anywhere else, basically. And I thought for many years that the big thing that I'd done there, because you've heard about it, feel the fear and do it anyway, go towards your fear, outside your comfort zone. So I thought the thing I had done was that I had, faced my fears, and I focused on that. And that is great advice. I like that. But I also I resonated a lot with teachings like Abraham Hicks that talk about, we don't, not forcing, but flowing with life, not pushing in the same way. Like we're told, push yourself, push yourself, push yourself. I don't really like that narrative either. And it was today, I was discussing it with a friend, and I realized that I did do something super powerful then, but it wasn't, I focused on the fear, but it wasn't really the fear that was the big thing there, that I faced the fear. It was that I had a voice in my head that said one thing, and then I had a voice of my head which was what I wanted. I wanted to be able to feel free in the ocean. I wanted to have fun experiences. And what I did, which was revolutionary, was that I realized there was two voices, and I chose the one that was aligned with my desires. And I think that was the first time that I sense that I don't have to be a victim to my thoughts. I don't have to be a victim to my mind. My mind doesn't have to lead my action. There is heart. There is what I truly desire, and that can lead my actions too. So that's the key that I have found. Doing what scares you is great advice, I think, for some people, but I also believe there's a deeper layer. Realizing that you will have voices in your mind that says one thing, and you will have the voice of your desire that might say another thing. And in those moments, again and again and again, both in everyday life and in those big moments, choosing to go with what you want is the most powerful thing. Because desire has many flavors. Fear has many flavors. There is fear that feels like attachment, or fear that feels like terror in the body, you know, what we think of when we say fear, like, I'm so scared. But there's also fear like overexertion or manipulation or dishonesty or forcing. So fear has these different flavors. The voice of fear makes us act in many different ways and experience life through many different ways. And when we learn to become aware, become connected to our souls, with our hearts, with our desires, same thing. And when we are present enough to actually notice, okay, there are different voices, and not just going on automatic following the voices, that's when we really start becoming the leaders of our life, and our life starts to become what we desire it to be. That's when we start becoming outside of the matrix, and it's an amazing place to live.